بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is our program, Spirit of Values, and this is Dr. Tariq Rashid. In this episode, we will look for what we call value of influencing. If you increase your circle of influence, you will gain more happiness, you will get to a higher destination of satisfaction. And always they said, we have two circles to think of. We have what we call circle of concerns, but we have what we call circle of influence. Each one of us should define his or her concerns in life. What are your concerns in life? Your health, your job, your parents, your son and daughter, etc. These are your concerns. How much you can influence makes how much you are successful in life. For people who are influencers, usually their circle of influence is higher than their circle of concern. But most ordinary people, their circle of concern is higher than their circle of influence. Let's go deeply into the value of influencing. What is the goal of influencing? Why do we need to influence our kids? Why do we influence our employees, our colleagues, our friends? The idea of influencing is creating motivation. By creating motivation, you help achieving goals. By achieving goals, you increase satisfaction. And in life, we cannot go as an individual. We need team spirit. We need team spirit by gaining other people, and 1 + 1 is not equal 2. 1 + 1 in life should equal 1, which is one direction, one team, one coordination, one harmony. This will create trust. And we discussed in one of the episodes the value of a trust. So influencing will help us to reach a trust. Once we reach trust, we can proceed. So the idea of value of influencing is to gain trust. Let's look for some of the statistics in one of the study that mentioned several problems in organizations. This study showed the following. 37% only of employees know the real mission and vision of their organization. If they are individuals, they know exactly what they need in life, only 37%. And 63% of people does not know or does not care. 1 out of 5, which means 20%, is enthusiastic toward his or her goals in life or organization goal. The other 4 out of 5, they care for the salary at the end of the month. But also, if we lack enthusiasm, we lack passion, we will never achieve anything. Also, 1 out of 5 has a clear distinct between their title, their job, with the organization goal. B, in order to succeed, relate your position with your goal you will achieve. One of the problems also, 15% only of employees feel job security. 85%, they don't feel job security. Am I going to continue with this organization? Will I be fired out? So if this is the situation, the main result that they got, 20% only of employees trust their management and organization, and 13% has high enthusiasm and believe in teamwork, and 87% believe in being individual rather than team. If this is the situation, what is the main result? This is real failure. Let's believe in influencing. If we have the influencing value, all these statistics will jump up and you will increase trust. And they defined management, because we need to have managerial concept. Management is art and science of investment of resources within least time, effort, and money to enhance performance and get results. And you can get back to the first episode where we discussed deeply the concept of management. But the main influencing will come from the concept of leadership, how to influence teams. You can get back to one of the episodes discussing leadership in general, Now let's go deeply in the concept of leadership and how can we influence. One of the most important definition of leadership, art of influencing followers to achieve goals. So influencing, the value of influencing comes from a concept of leadership, the main idea to gain and reach our goals in life. So let's go deeply in this. And why leadership is important in influencing? Because without having the concept of leadership, we will never influence. If the parents are not the leaders in their homes, who will lead the kids toward their goals? If the teacher is not the leader in the classroom, who will lead? If the management is not leading the organization, who will lead? So always leaders are influencers to actually let others be valuable and use their inner strength to create something. This is the leadership concept, art of influencing, getting the inner energy from people. Is leadership important? They find in the world of a crisis, without leadership, we will never proceed. Sometimes one leader will lead nation. The importance of leaders are influencing. The main concept of the value of influencing is the value of leadership. A good manager will take a set of resources and manage them, because management has to deal with resources. But leaders deal with people, with emotions, with inspiration. By this, we create change. We are influencing and achieving the circle of influence and achieving the concerns of others. This is the importance of leadership and influencing. Why did we look at leadership as a main influencer? Because the challenge now, what did we seek to do? You need to achieve something, at least you should lead yourself. At least you should lead yourself. The response for this challenge, what did we do and what we seek to do, comes leadership. We have lots of models, by the way, for leadership, and let's see together what are the main models of leadership that will help organizations, societies, countries, and individuals to move forward. The origins of this all leadership theory, there are popular models. For example, there is a model called the great person model in leadership. We have another model, trait theory. We have behavioral models. We have situational models. All of these models explain a common area relating to influence and to influencing. Great person model. Each one of us, I am sure, has a certain model for a person in his or her mind. Each one of you, please, use a paper and set who's your model in life. Who's your model in life? Some people may choose their grandfather. Some people will go for people who influence. For example, they may say, for example, Salah ad-Din is my role model. Okay? And of course, prophets are the real models for all people. Wa alayhi salatu wassalam is our model as a great person. If we apply the concept of the values that Muhammad alayhi salam give us, we will proceed. All leaders in this model have charismatic influence. They are charisma, they use the charisma to influence, and always charisma is a talent and a born trait rather than it's a skill. There is another model for leadership. Again, leadership is the main concept of influencing. Trait theory suggests that leaders are born with certain traits. In this model, actually, they summarized 70 traits. However, in research, they said if someone gets 50 out of the 70 traits, he or she will be classified as a leader. Let's think of the most important 5 traits of people who lead and are having high level of influence. The first one by research is, the one trait is emotional listeners. Leaders listen emotionally to their nation, to their society, to the needs of their kids if they are parents. A well-known rule for leaders, If you want to be a leader, always listen, never speak. If you want to speak, just ask questions to understand your nation, your people, your employees. This is one trait. The second trait, all leaders are visionary. They have a vision in mind. They need to achieve so and so. A clear final destination is a trait of a leader. The third trait is excellent in decision making and taking. Excellent in decision making and taking. This is the third trait. The fourth, all leaders are courageous, very courageous. And sometimes they make the decision and go for it. And the fifth trait is being fair with people, being fair with others. This is the trait theory of leadership, making influence there. The approach is also to apply the trait theory is use your emotional intelligence, not normal intelligence. Your personality type. Test your personality. Are you really influencer? Check with yourself. Do you influence yourself first? Do you influence your kids? And so on. So first, your personality. Other qualities, drive people, motivate them, ambition, honesty as an important value, integrity. All of this will create influencing. This is a model of the whole trait theory. It's based on a higher level of what we call VBL, value-based leadership, and we are discussing values all in this program. Another models for creating influencing is what we call behavioral theory. Pull theory. Pull theory believes in I can actually use punishment, for example, or rewarding to affect people to influence them. But also, according to Adair, there is a model called action-centered leadership in influencing, and we have the concept of habits by Stephen Covey, personal and positional power, and Blanchard mentioned one of the most important leadership theories in creating influence is situational leadership model. If we go deeply through this, let's go for Adair. He mentioned three functions to consider: task, team, individual. If you have a certain task to do, first you should know about the different individuals. And again, you have to create an excellent team by depending on the individual and defining a good team, you will achieve the task. This is one of the influencing models mentioned by John Adair. The situational concept depends on actually different idea. In the situational leadership theory, we have three variables to consider. The first variable is the personality of the individual. It's very important because if you want to influence someone, you have to know as a leader his or her personality. But the second variable, so this is the first variable in the situational leadership. The second variable is the situation itself. It's very important. And the third is what we call the competency level of the individual. One of the most important and effective theories of influencing is to use the situational leadership. And this, if I understand the personality of the individual and I estimate the situation, then based on the competency level, I can proceed. And they use here what we call tell, sell, participate, delegate. If you have an individual who actually does not know anything about the task, tell him or her. Once he becomes more aware to create some sort of enthusiasm, sell the idea. Participate in sharing with them. Then delegation. If we delegate, we create empowerment. Empowerment is highly needed. Once empowerment is there, it is the highest level of influencing is empowerment. تمكين مكنا ليوسف. So this is the concept of situational leadership model one of the best models of influencing in leadership. We have other issues, so the situational, which I mentioned. Also, we have the goal theory. The goal theory, we achieve influence by defining a good goal. So we have 4 leadership styles. We have the task manager or the task leader, concerned only for the task. I need the result to be done. This is one type of leadership. Directive, a leader that will give direction to people. Participative means I will share with them. Let's combine as a team. The leader will listen from all in order to participate. And then supportive. Support them in their procedure, support them in their action plan. You will influence more. So all of these will create influencing at the end. We combine all these models in a model called ILM, Integrated Leadership Model. Combining all these together, we will get to the concept of the ILM. In this model, appreciate each one of our audience, please have a paper with you. In the integrated leadership model, they look for what we call 6 specific scales. Task or people? Are you flexible or dogmatic? Are you decentralized or centralized? Do you believe in rewards more or punishment? Do you believe in the means or at the end? Do you believe in a certain structure or organic? Let me clarify. If you are task-oriented as a leader, you are affecting people by looking for the task. But if you are people-oriented, you care for the team, for the enthusiasm, for their emotions. Being flexible means you allow failure. But being dogmatic, you need the result without failure. This is sometimes called dictatorship model. Are you decentralized? You allow them to share. For example, you give them authority, or you are centralized. And if you believe in rewards, you create influence. Punishment is needed in some cases to have some sort of influencing the action. Some leaders believe in the mean and tools. Other leaders believe in the end and the result. And using structure means you are using a certain hierarchy. Be organic, be flexible, be agile, we will achieve. So in this episode, we discuss the concept of the value of influencing, how to influence others, whether we are parents, teachers, managers, or leaders of a country. The art of influencing will achieve success. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.